We'll see if Vici. So Frost Blast comes in as well as the Impale. DY taking a lot of damage, but the Fire Spirits come through on to September. We got the Frost Arrows slowing up Flywin, who went to the Ion Shell. Vici will get first blood. Spirits still hitting away at these heroes. Now they look for more. They're going on to September. They continue to try and disrupt for this bounty rune, but September picks it up with a 2-man Impale. Unable to clean up there as DY does get the kill on to September. So 2 kills now. Pulse again. Tidebringer hurts. Now sitting about a full level behind. Now they've got the X. Ori working with another Tidebringer. And Setsu Fairy Fire. Fairy Fire eaten by Ori. And another solo kill here. Monet eating a lot of this pressure. Yang might just fall. Frost Shield on him. He needs to find a way to turn and survive. But instead, look at the kill here onto Yang. And trade for Super. First dive away. September nearby. Won't catch up to the Phoenix, who fainting with that hoof stomp. Super now. Frost Shield slowing him up, and he might be dead. Sinister Gaze comes through, but there's the hoof stomp. Monet, he wants to go and get Yang. Meanwhile, they lose Setsu over mid. I think PYW is thinking about turning on this, at least go after Super. He does do a lot of damage to this Lich, and let's see if he commits to it. The ping comes out from PYW onto Super. He won't trust the Ogre Magi and his Chocobo Steed. But now they've got the Icarus dive. Setsu in trouble. The silence comes through. That stun doesn't land here from September. And the chase is on from DY. Spirits will be wide, but they've got the Stampede. They'll catch up to this Nyx and get themselves yet another kill. 9-2. Got yourself a kill in the Ogre. I don't know if that's worth it. Silence on the Necro. Setsu has nothing.
Let me get my arrows back, and then you can die.
A lot of TPs coming in from the side of Vici, and now they'll look for the Torrent. That doesn't land on either hero here, diving the tier 1 tower, but they look over at September. They've got themselves the X. Stun from DY, ends up hitting himself because they've got the Spike Carapace, but the split shot comes in from Eurus. Now the vacuum back into the wall. They get the kill into PYW. That's a big spree going the way of Super. They'll also take out Eurus. The Stampede comes in. They look over at the Lich. They get the kill into Super, and now here comes the boat. That hits onto Monet. Can they at least get the kill on the Morphling? That makes this really worth it to try and get the defend on the tier 1 tower over bottom. Flywin now trying to surge away. They've got the help from Setsu, maybe to get a Reaper Scythe out onto Yang. Adaptive Strike comes in. Setsu hit with the X. Now trying to get some distance between Yang as well as Setsu. Is it enough to get away from that Reaper Scythe? Doubles back. They got the surge. The Hoof Stomp comes in. Absolute timings on this man, but the Reaper Scythe will finally slice through his life. And they do get the kill onto the Centaur, but they still... She can recover off this. Icarus dive comes through. They've got the X on to Setsu. This is a big problem. We're going to the Ghost Shroud. Surviving for now. Super coming over. He doesn't have Chain Frost, but he's got the Sinister Gaze. They'll go into the Supernova. Do they have the right clicks to stop this from popping? They do. But that means they're going to lose Setsu. The Impale comes out from September on a Eurus. That lands. Now the Spike Carapace follows it up. Monet, Adaptive Strike coming in. X as well as the boat. That takes out September, so they got a 2-for-1 trade in their favor. Look over top to get Setsu once again. Icarus dive over. The Death Pulse is used. They've got themselves the X as well as the boat. I believe just the boat coming in. Setsu gets hit by it as does Flywin. September comes over, and now they're trying to get something going here. As the Vendetta as well as the Impale, they get the kill onto PYW, and all of a sudden, RNG are hitting a power spike. The stun comes through on a Setsu. Now they continue forward, but they've got the Torrent hitting from Ori. Monet surged as well as turning into the Centaur. He looks to maybe go in on this, but now he's trying to leave. X will pull back Monet, but they don't have the Torrent to go with this just yet, but they've got the Ignite. Now the Surge comes out onto Monet once again to help him leave. He turns into the Centaur once more. They've got themselves the Silence as well as the Fire Blast coming through. Icarus dive over. The Essence Ring is going to be enough here onto the Necro, or will it? He's into the Ghost Shroud, and now one more shot will finally get the kill. It's the Double Edge that takes him out. They'll use the Stampede. They'll run over Flywin. He's got no more mana. The Frost Arrows are slowing him down. The damage is there. They've got the X and pull him back into the Torrent with the kill of the Double Edge and the right click coming in from Yang. Meanwhile, DY does die to Monet, but the pressure comes into the tier 2 tower over towards top, and back is the rest of Vici, so they need to be careful. They've got themselves the Vendetta as well as the stun coming through. The Stampede's going to follow this up. The Waveform comes in as well as the Adaptive Strike, and the Reaper Scythe. This does not turn into anything that great, as now the Vacuum as well as the Wall of Replica is dropped down, but they've got the Supernova. They get the kill here on a Super. Monet, he's stunned up thanks to the Supernova. They get the kill on a Setsu once again. He's gone for 46 seconds with buyback. They've bought back on the Lich already with Sunray as well as the Spirit Vessel. The stun comes through from Yang as he blinks on top of Monet. Grabs the kill onto the Morphling. The Chain Frost doesn't do anything. Super buff back. He TPs into the outpost. And DY's got the Fire Blast and the help to take out this Lich once again. And that's the pressure I was talking about. That's exactly what Vici needed. And now this could potentially be into the high ground, forcing buybacks from RNG. Yule stops the X. Now the rest of the team needs to come in. They've got themselves the Stampede. They'll catch up to this. How much do RNG want to commit? They've got Yang right here. Silence doesn't hit on the Flywin, but they've got the X as well as the Torrent. There's the boat landing. Hoofstomp comes out on a September. They get the kill here onto the Darkseer. He doesn't have buyback. Now they look over at September. They got the dust on him. Icarus dive stopped by the Spike Carapace. The shots come through from the Drow. Finished off by Yang with a double edge. Now the Fire Blast hits out on a Setsu. He might be caught once again. Ghost Shroud, but the Hoofstomp's right there on him as well as the Gust. They got the Torrent to follow it up. They'll get the kill onto the Necro once he comes down from this Yules. There's no way out of this one, Setsu. You are dead to rights. Take the tier 3 tower. Chain Frost is thrown, but not really felt too much. There's the blink. Hoofstomp hits on 2. They'll buy back on Setsu, and now they've got Flywin coming over with a Vacuum as well as the Wall of Replica drop down. The Sinister Gaze locks up Yang. Can they get the kill onto the Centaur? They've got the Hoofstomp coming in from Monet, I believe morphed into the Centaur. So now, let's see, can RNG get anything else out on the exit? They committed a lot to this, and all they've got is 1. Duels on Ori, pops the BKB. Now Setsu needs to be careful, but coming around is September, going to the back lines looking for Eurus, and now they've got the E-Blade. They'll pop Eurus, but they look over at Setsu. Necro, who just bought back, is in a lot of trouble. The Vacuum, can they get enough space here for this Necro? DY chasing, Hoofstomp misses, buybacks aplenty from Vici Gaming. They want to commit, they want to finish right now. They've got the stun coming through on a Super. September goes in with the Spike Carapace to try and lock up DY. That will get the stun, that will get the kill. They'll take out the Ogre Magi, and he might want to buy back as well. Vici, they committed heavily for this. Now they've got the Yules coming out onto the Phoenix. Can they lock him down? They've got the Sinister Gaze, but the 2-man stun comes out from Yang. Now they go into the Supernova. The Torrent follows it up. It hits onto the Lich as well as this Necro. They get the kill on the Setsu as well as Super, but they take out BYW. He did buy back. That was in with the Supernova. They get the kill on the September. They take out 3. They don't have buyback. The waveform onto the low ground. And with the Spirit Vessel on him, this is a tough ass to get out of this one. And Monet ends up dead. 4 heroes gone. No buyback for the side of Royal Never Give Up. So Vici go on to the high ground once again, and I think they're looking towards the tier 4s to finish this game off with little resistance. This game will be theirs. They look over at Flywin, X back, the Wall of Replica is down, but he won't be able to vacuum anybody into it. He'll buy back, but this is the Ancient dying. GG being called by Royal Never Give Up, and Vici take game 1 with relative ease. At least that's what I remember seeing in a game where there was a Void Spirit and a Faceless. Definitely feels a little bit lackluster coming in from the Earthshaker, but PYW makes an appearance over towards bottom, and they'll get the kill there with the Shadow Poison. First blood finally coming through for Vici. Mid matchup, 600 gold ahead. This is, Ori beating Setsu once again. Can chain over, have the Spirit Siphon. There's the Silence onto the Morphling. They've got the Crypt Swarm. They have the damage with the Exorcism to get the kill, and they'll follow that up with a tier 1 tower towards top. So to get this kill here onto Monet, definitely a big one, and then the tower on top of it. Give me the additional objectives. Silence, Icarus dive all the way back. Another kill here for Vici, up 5-0. All the while, Morphling continue to farm. He's got that Eagle Song and should be close to getting the Ghost Scepter. Silence comes out onto the Void Spirit. Eurus, though, can't catch up to get the Chronosphere down, but now the Dissimilate comes in as well as the Burrow Strike. Epicenter, Echo Slam follows. Chronosphere hits on the Void Spirit and the Morphling. They look to try and get this Supernova out of the way, but now Monet as well as Setsu are alive to try and turn this around. They got the kill into PYW. They traded September. Now they look over as they'll lose Ori, most likely. The Spirit Siphon coming in from Monet onto this Death Prophet. Void might be next to follow. He's locked up, but Time walks north. He gets some distance. Timber Chain across. They get the kill there on Setsu. Monet now trying to at least get the kill here onto the Shadow Demon, but DY surviving for a moment. They get the stun from the Centaur neutral creep. DY still falls. Flywind still survives, despite the fact that the neutrals are against him. Burrow Strike comes through from... Overall, it's really not that bad. They've got the Aether Remnant. Look for the Burrow Strike to save the disruption. They throw over the Demonic Purge out on a Flywind, but a quick kill there from Monet onto DY. They've also got the lasso through onto Eurus and the Astral Step. Can Eurus get away? He is not able to escape. Did not have Time Walk off cooldown, and yet another kill to go through. Royal never give up. They had the first pick, so they weren't going to ban it out. And Vici let it slip through the cracks. Astral Step forward, throws the Aether Remnant down. DY trying to run, but there's the silence out from the Resonant Pulse. Chronosphere committed. Now Void Spirit. He might have gone in too deep, but oh no! Eurus goes down so quickly. There's the Echo Slam flying in from PYW. They get the kill on Setsu. Now they look over Monet with the Exorcism committed, but the Burrow Strike hits on a 3 as well as the Adaptive Strike coming out on the Air Shaker. Now they look over as they've got the Disruption out on a Monet, trying to get him deterred and backed off, but the Supernova comes in and pops, stuns up 2 of these heroes as Ori and Yang are trying to still go forward. They look over at Monet once again. They've got the Chakram on top. They'll get the kill on the Flywind as well as this Morphling. And all of a sudden, despite the fact that they lost this Faceless Void, this fight goes pretty well for Vici. They're looking to add a +1 as Super on the run has nothing to really get away with. And this is looking like his death, and it will be. So some saves from DY have definitely been game changers, and now they look over the Sand King. The Demonic Purge comes in, but there's the Astral Step right on top of the Shadow Demon. He's silenced up, so he doesn't have the save of the Disruption. They'll get the kill on the Flywind. Now with the lasso out on Ori, there's the E-Way. They get the kill. The Chronosphere comes out on a 2. Can they turn this? They look over, and I said 2, but the Batrider was behind the Morphling. They'll get the kill in September. Now they look over at Setsu, who's got the double damage. He comes in with the Astral Step, as well as the silence coming in from Monet, who morphed into the Death Prophet. Gets the silence out on a couple of these heroes. Setsu looking to turn this around on a Yang, but Eurus maybe looking to go out on a Setsu. The silence comes out from the Resonant Pulse, hitting out of both these heroes. Yang now with Eurus trying to fight, trying to man up. They look over at Setsu, who Astral Steps away. There's the Mitch style pop by Monet, still in the Death Prophet form. They've got the silence. That'll stop him from time walking away, but now they just need a bash. They've got the Timber Chain coming across as well as the Dissimulate. They'll pop the Aegis, and now can they get anything more? Timber Chain once again from Yang. Doesn't have anything to stop the movement here of RNG, and looks like they might even look to re-engage. Epicenter charged up. Blink with the lasso. They look over at Ori. They've got the Burrow Strike coming in from Monet, and they'll get the kill there on Ori. He is gone for 80 seconds for BKB, and now they've got the lasso over on the side. The Astral Step comes in. They might have found the Shadow Demon once again. They'll get the kill here on a DY. The Exorcism gets committed as well as the Chronosphere. That comes out on a Monet. They get the kill here onto this Morphling. He buys back immediately. That's why he was holding onto the gold. They look over as Exorcism has been popped. Can RNG get back into the pit? They don't have DY to work with. That was the Chronosphere down. But now does that mean you have to give up this Roche because you've used most of your kit? They've got the Fissure coming through, and that hits onto Super. They get the kill here onto this Batrider. And still tense outside the pit. Exorcism about to run out. Yang moves forward, throws the Chakram down, moves back into the Sand King, and now he's got a lot of time left on that duration to go in and look for a long-range Burrow Strike. The Lotus Orb gets placed onto Monet. He's inside the Sandstorm. They've got a sentry down for the Dire side and a sentry close for the Radiant. 10 seconds as well as Exorcism for 40. They're showing Yang near the pit. They've got the smoke that gets broken by Yang. Timber Chain onto the high ground. Super thinking about going in. Has that lasso available, and now Morphling again from behind. He's that Sand King. They'll look for the Epicenter. They've got that down out on Ori. He's gone for 90 seconds. Meanwhile, the Blink as well as the Totem coming through on a Super. They get themselves a 1-for-1 trade, but now it's DY dying once again. He buys back immediately. Yang with the Timber Chain onto the high ground. They look over at Monet. They've got the Illusions hitting away at this Morphling, but it's really not doing anything. And, well, RNG, they got the kill onto the Death Prophet. Got the Chronosphere, they have Epicenter, or they have Exorcism as well as the Echo Slam. Both teams in and out of the pit they go. They poke, they prod, they look for an opening. They've got Roche down to about half health. The Burrow Strike comes out onto Yang, but you look at how tanky he is and how hard it will be to get through the outer shell of this Timbersaw. Blink, Lasso comes out onto Yang. They've got the Sunray out. There's the Astral Step. Can they finally get through him? Yes, they can. They got the Chronosphere coming through on and through the BKB pop by Monet. The Supernova is out on the side. They don't get any kills within the Chronosphere. Now the Supernova is about to pop. That stuns up Ori as well as Eurus. This could be a big problem for the side of Vici. They've got themselves the Aether Remnant as well as the Fissure coming through. They still have Echo Slam to work with. Eurus gets to the Time Walk on the other side of the Roche pit, but he ends up dead for 95 seconds without buyback. Exorcism still down on the ground. Yang, he's come back into this fight. He bought back, I believe, for this, and now there's the Epicenter on top of him with the Burrow Strike. They've got the Fissure as well as the Echo Slam. Oh, I think it's done enough damage. However, Ori's dead. Flywind goes down. They'll buy back on the Sand King. Now they're chasing after PYW. This is really falling apart for the side of Vici. The Sunray as well as the Spirit Vessel on him. The Astral Step will get the final touch on to this Earthshaker. Now they look over at Yang, who will Timber Chain away, but the Adaptive Strike comes through and on purpose. They've got the Hex from quite a distance. Now they've got the Chronosphere committed to this as well as the Exorcism. They'll get through Eurus very quickly. They'll get the kill there. They'll take him out. And now Monet is gone for 2 minutes. He does have buyback. That's Chronosphere and Exorcism committed on that play, though. And that's exactly... Setsu moving forward with the Aether Remnant placed down. That hits on a Yang. That'll keep Eurus available. Now Burrow Strike through. Still didn't buy onto the Divine Rapier, but they've got the Hex coming out of the Morphling, and now they look for the Chronosphere. He holds it, a little bit of lag coming in. He's continuing to feint on this, but they finally get the BKB out on Monet as well as the Chronosphere. Can they get the kill on the Morphling? He'll be dead without buyback, but he gets out alive! Waveform away, now he turns into the Sand King. Trying to run away is now the side of Vici, because they've used everything once again. They still have the Echo Slam with PYW waiting in the wing, trying to find an opening here to get the dunk down that will potentially save the game for Vici. There's the Fissure coming through. They look over at Monet, they get the kill! He's gone, done and dusted for 2 minutes. They look over the Phoenix, they get the kill in September. He's gone for 100 seconds. Echo, not the Echo Slam. It's the Epicenter coming in with a Burrow Strike hitting on a 4. You look over at Flywind, who's now out of mana with a Lotus Orb on him. He's trying to run away with the Fissure hitting from PYW. He continues to stay in this fight, but now he's finally lasted over by the Bat Rider, who starts to pull him away, but the Disruption comes out for DY. There's the Time Walk forward. Vici might have saved this game. They go after Super. They'll chase with the Timber Chain that's got that extra extension thanks to the 25 talent, and they will get the kill on the Bat Rider. Oh, Void Spirit, he's also in trouble. They've got the Silence. He gets into the Dissimulate. Now he's trying to run with the BKB as well as the Astral Step to let him go. They need to let him leave. With the Ags picked up by Faceless Void, he's got the Time Walk he has the Time Lock every time he Time Walks forward. They've got the Refresher coming through. Now they've got the Chronosphere, but there's the Burrow Strike as well as the Epicenter coming in. There's the Supernova. Is it going to line up with the Disruption? It will. They've got themselves the Aether Remnant. Now the Time Walk away, but the Supernova really doesn't do enough. They look over at Yang. They've got the damage with this Spirit Vessel and the Sunray right on top of him. They've locked up Monet, but he's into the BKB. Now can they get the kill here onto the Morphling? They've got themselves the Fissure as well as the Echo Slam! That gets the kill on Monet, and now they look for the second Supernova, but there's the Astral Step coming forward from Setsu, who's no longer within the BKB. They look over at Eurus. They get the kill. That's going to be the first life gone. Now, can they get the kill out onto this Death Prophet who eats the cheese and keeps up with it? Oh boy, without the Morphling, once again, this opens up for Vici. This is going to be a huge problem here for RNG to try and defend without it, but they've got the Divine Rapier out onto the Void Spirit. That's their last-ditch effort to try and save this game. They go after the top set of Rex on the side of Vici. They've got everybody alive, so it's a 5v4 situation that's favoring Vici on this one. They've cut it down to a 12,000 net worth lead in Vici. Are they going to go for the tier 4s? The Blink, Burrow Strike, that comes through, as well as the Astral Step. PYW staying alive. Now they look over at Setsu, who's got the Dissimulate, now getting out of harm's way, but they lose PYW. They'll lose Flywind. He's got no buyback. Dead for 2 minutes. Now they look over at Setsu, who might be able to drive the Divine Rapier if he goes down. Super burning them away with Firefly, but it's not a lot of damage, and it's completely mitigated, really, by how late this game is. Firefly doesn't really feel like much of anything, and now 3 heroes are gone without buyback. They've got PYW dead for 100 seconds. He doesn't have buyback, but now they'll go after the set of racks over top, finish it off with the Exorcism, potentially. Vici trying to finish the series out 2-0. Let's see what they're able to accomplish here, as RNG still continuing to try and hold this game, and they got the Hex. There's the Divine Rapier on the deck. No! The Dissimulate is out with the BKB. Setsu getting it in the face. No, he can't! He drops the Divine Rapier, Eurus picks it up, and this is looking like the game here for Vici. It looked for a moment that he was able to get inside the well and survive, but no. Eurus goes forward with the Time Walk. He gets the hit that kills off this Void Spirit. Setsu, now with the Divine Rapier down, he is not really hitting that hard at all.
Setsu with the Astral step forward with the Ancient exposed. It's going down. It's getting low. They've got themselves the Aether Remnant coming through under the Faceless Void, and now that Assimilate stuns him up, they got that little 25 talent here. Astral step forward again. The BKB popped by Monet. Can they focus on the Ancient? They've got the Supernova coming in. Yours with the time while getting more health. Can they get it? Yes, they can! Vici Gaming with the 2-0 victory